My people, hope y'all are good. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Patala FC. And we are truly within, y'all. And guys, thank y'all. Thank you for 600. 600, guys, means the world, means a lot. Let's get it, y'all. Let's keep growing. And here's an interesting one, guys. Chelsea fans. And yes, sentimental one for the Chelsea fans because an organization has organized a protest on the 25th of February, guys, just outside Stamford Bridge against who? The owners. Yes, guys, I support it. I support it fully, guys. And actually, 600 of us, losing my words, we could actually start a protest if need be. So yeah, guys, it's huge. That's how huge it is. But I think it's really big. And I think this needs to happen. I'd like to applaud every single Chelsea fan in advance that will be part of that protest, guys. It's big. It's big for the club. You know, Spurs fans, it took them how long to actually protest? They actually did protest before their game against Man United on the weekend, but it took them more than a decade plus. Chelsea are different. We're going to protest now. The time is now. Before it gets too hectic, let's speak out. Let's come out. Let's address the matter because the owners are clearly here for their own clear things, clear headaches, clear lakes. Ah, man, we don't like them. We don't appreciate how they're doing things. Yes, they've brought the likes of Cole Palmer and other players that we appreciate, but in the grand scale, they're not doing what we appreciate, guys, and they are tarnishing our football club. But yeah, guys, as we always are, we're in solution mode.
Hey, is it worth it?
Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
Here are the few headaches. Nicolas Jackson is unavailable until the beginning of April, guys. So that's the entirety of March. We don't have our high intensity, high energy striker that always presses from the front. We appreciate Nicolas Jackson. And now that he's unavailable, those of us that have underappreciated him might actually note and realize that Nicolas Jackson is vital for our system, guys. I think we felt it against Brighton already, guys. Brighton were playing comfortably out the back. Well, where was Christopher Nkunku? Yes, he's not a striker, but he couldn't do what Nicolas Jackson does. He doesn't have that level of stamina. Another player with high stamina, young player, young striker, Marc, Guiu, likely to be out for the remainder of the season, guys. Yeah, it's intense, guys. Losing two strikers in the space of a week, actually in the same game, we could say, that was bad. It's a major headache for Maresca. It's a headache for us as a squad. And we don't have Nicolas Jackson, guys. Of all players, Nicolas Jackson and Marc Guiu. Another one. Confirmed, it seems, that Noni Madueke has a hamstring problem. Every time I say the word hamstring, I get Reece James thoughts. I'm sorry, guys, but Reece James has had too many injuries, and his hamstring was the issue for the longest time. Thigh injuries in between, but hamstring problems. Wesley Fofana as well, who's likely to return soon, but not having Noni Madueke limits our options because that's a right wing. We recently lost our left wing in Mikhailo Mudryk for other reasons outside of football. But look at our options just dropping, guys. We need a solution. So let's get it, guys.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
We know that in goal, we're trusting Jorgensen, even if he had a difficult game against Brighton. Jorgensen is our mainstay as our goalkeeper right now. Robert Sanchez has given us too much trauma, guys. He came from being a third choice at his former club, whilst Jorgensen, young goalkeeper, was the first choice at Villarreal. Let's trust him, guys. Let's give him a run of games, especially in the Premier League. But fortunately, Maresca sort of announced that he is our first choice. So we're banking on him being the man in charge in goal for the remainder. How many games do we have left in the Premier League? Just 13 or so? Hey, guys, how many of those can we win? Anyway, let's speak on the lineup. So, shape-wise, guys, 3-4-3-5-2-3. And that is different from what Maresca does. There is a back three, but Maresca inverts the back three. I think we need a mainstay back three, and that's us playing all three. We mentioned it in a few previous videos. Colwill, Tosin in the middle, and Chalobah on the right side. I think that back three, because we're shipping goals like in cheap ways, guys. We're really we're messing up. You consider the goal against Brighton. Mitoma given the chance to get a beautiful touch on the ball, open space and shoot, right? Chalobah was at fault for that. But if we have a back five, we're likely to actually be able to deal with that situation because there'll be Gusto on the overlap to still deal with Mitoma in the defensive position. And Gusto's good at tracking back, guys. He's always positive in that regard. And then Cucurella, of course, on the left side, forming a back five, but flanking forward in the right moments. You know, and I think they both have that football intelligence to do so. So why not do it, you know? And then in midfield, the mainstays, Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo as our destroyer. You know, that's what they say in football. So Enzo Fernandez, of course, needs to polish his game and be a proper number 8, but I trust him to do so. I think Enzo actually thrives when he has more responsibility rather than being given a simple instruction. So yeah, there's that to consider. But I think the back line will be fixed. More protection because we're shipping goals cheaply, and then the midfield too. Then of course, yeah, the front three, guys. Who do we go with on the left? I would say it's time that Christopher Nkunku stops playing as a striker. Stop it, Maresca. And let's go with Nkunku on the left wing. We think about Sancho, right? Sancho's job is to get past his man, open space, and be creative. I feel Christopher Nkunku is more decisive and he's more rapid in terms of his decision making. So having Nkunku on the left, he could also drift into the midfield when Cucurella bursts forward of sorts. Christopher Nkunku is more lethal, I would say. I'm sorry to Sancho, guys, but Sancho is not convincing. He's being called a freedom fighter for his protests and, you know, backing Rashford's move to Villa and all that. But outside of politics, I think Sancho has dropped off immensely. I'm not saying Nkunku will help in the defensive shape, but Nkunku in the forward line, coming off the left, shooting, maybe curling a few shots on his right foot, could also be effective. Right wing, Cole Palmer. And not everyone wants Cole Palmer to return to the right wing the way he played under Poch. But I think it's time, guys. It's time. He can still drift into the cam role. It's not that he's limited. And he'll still operate where he's always operated in terms of his heat map. Shooting from that position, you know, as a right wing. Palmer could actually be effective. And he can still be creative. Because who's going to play as our number 9? False 9 until we have strikers back. Yeah, daring shout, Pedro Neto, guys. Pedro Neto. Let's consider that shot against Arsenal, the equalizer against Arsenal for the 1-1. Pedro Neto shot from a central role. He was in the center of the field, and he shot so well. And we could see that if he's playing as a false 9, we may not have someone to hold up play the way Jackson holds up play. But then again, we're changing up the whole dynamic. We're saying Enzo as a number 8 helps out coming forward. Christopher Nkunku's there. Cole Palmer's there. It's a change of shape. So the job that Pedro Neto will need to do, I believe, is one he can do. And of course, in terms of bursting past defenders, Pedro Neto's a menace, guys. If he kicks the ball beyond you, he's getting to that ball. He's getting there before you. He has that pace. He has burst. I think he's got the best burst in terms of all our forwards. Even Noni Madueke doesn't have that level of burst that Pedro Neto has. So I think as a false 9, he could work, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. Slander me if you must. You know, I always appreciate that. If you disagree, guys, I'll fully understand. But I feel now that we don't have options, Pedro Neto being tried out on that position could be something. And how do teams deal with a number 9 or a false 9 that's always drifting? And it's not that Pedro Neto will be limited to the center. He and Cole Palmer can rotate, sort of free roam the positions. Palmer going into the false 9, Neto returning to the right wing. Let's be unpredictable, guys, because that's the opposite of what we've been. We've been highly predictable. Yeah, solution mode, as we've said, guys. Let me know your thoughts. That's the lineup. 5-2-3, 3-4-3 vibes. Let's get it, y'all.